Welcome to the shooting show. This week we follow South Ayrshire's finest Chris Dalton as he heads to Perthshire looking for roebuck late in the rut on the Kinnaird Estate.
Okay, this week we're up at Kinnaird Estate, particularly stunning time of year to be in Scotland. Round about the glorious 12th, the heather's in full bloom. What we're actually doing is we've got clients coming up on some early stags, but I always like to get out on the ground the day before if I can. I just want to recce, see what's what, see if there's any changes, kind of see where the deer are. And if it's possible, I think it always gives the best opportunity then, so you know where you've got a good idea where you're going to take your client, having had a good look round the day before. But we took the camera with us so we could sort of multitask and take the opportunity to try and shoot, you know, one of the roebucks. There's one or two more roebucks I want to take off just to complete the cull, so gives an ideal opportunity to do it in what was a beautiful day really. I think the other thing of note, you'll see quite a few on this clip of raptors. I mean, there's a lot of press, we're all aware of it now. Gamekeepers supposed to be persecuting this estate's not doing that and the other, and yet you look on a well-managed estate like this one, you know, big game shooting operation, there's grouse, there's black grouse, there's red listed sort of species on there in significant numbers, thriving, and it's clearly a very healthy ecosystem on a managed sort of shoot, and it just shows that, you know, things can coincide quite nicely with the right, you know, sort of management in place. And yet you look at the other side of that, places where shooting has been banned, and then just go and have a look and as a comparison to see the diversity of wildlife on those sites. And I know where anybody filming Springwatch would end up, and it wouldn't be on one of the parks where people are walking and dogs are running around and there's no predator control. So it is actually quite interesting to see on this estate, and it's a credit to the estate actually what you're actually seeing on these clips over and above what we're actually showing you, which is basically, you know, stalking the deer. weather conditions, it was really quite muggy, and you can see on the clip a lot of flies and bugs around. You kind of get used to them. Ideal kind of rutting conditions towards the end of the row rut, but I always had the call with me because, you know, sometimes it can come in handy, you never know, and as it happened on this occasion, then it was particularly useful. The roebuck that I subsequently sort of decided I was going to shoot was walking away from us quite a lot, quite quickly. Never really presented for the shot after the crawling, got the rifle on the bipod, and then Julie kind of sniffed around his door a little bit and then laid down, which was, I've got to say, most inconsiderate of him. Trusty Butyllo came out, tried a couple of calls which initially didn't really attract much interest at all, and then eventually he did start to respond when I could have increased the agitation and the volume from the call, and then we got the opportunity of a shot. Initially he wasn't stood properly, turned slightly, just gave me enough. You always sort of, when you're putting the crosshairs on a deer and kind of thinking where the exit's going to be, so even with a deer that's not fully broadside, if you're sort of conscious of where your entry is going to be and where your exit's going to be, you can still engineer your nice heart lung shot, which is, you know, going through the heart or into the lung area. You'll be careful that the angle isn't too great and you end up with the round going and touching the stomach, and then you have a mess. So you've obviously got not to have too acute an angle for the shot, but you can work out exactly where to put the crosshairs. And there are a number of good charts actually available that, if you like, put a line through the deer, so it shows you the different options and angles of shots where you can actually take a shot and you can't. I mean, ideally, really you want to be waiting if possible for the full broadside, and then there's no issue. But you know, buck was nicely shot, ran 20-30 meters, so no issue with any of that. Yeah, nice buck to take. Long, slender antlers. They caused some damage actually. Good nick, nice summer coat. See that he's obviously been results of some rutting activity there. Right. Come get him gralloped. Nice morning, midges are getting bad now. Beautiful to stalk the hill row. The hill row bucks, they live out on the hill all year. They've got access to a few of the birch woodland, but most of the time, especially in the summer months, they get out, try and get out the flies, and they're living up on the heather on the hill. Quite a good environment for them, not disturbed much. Okay, so we've kind of managed to, a little bit awkward, but we've engineered a suspended grellock on some old brashed brooms. But what I like about this method is just the cleanliness of it, because everything's draining down. I think I've mentioned it several times before, so it's all draining out the cavity. So we're going to go back. It's quite warm now, obviously, but we're going to go back and get the car, which is 3/4 of a mile that way. So we can. It's not in direct sunlight. It's just starting to cool. Nip back, get the car, drive it in, put it straight in the tray, and then it'll go straight into the chiller. I'll take some samples, the tick samples off, back at the chiller. And what happens is the test tube will sample of blood, and one of the ticks go into a little sequentially numbered, serial numbered mirror image of each other. They go in a hard kind of plastic case, and it's posted off straight down to put them down, and they do all the scientific bits. But it's quite interesting to be involved in something like that. And actually they've worked right through the COVID situation, which surprised me. They're one of the few organisations that have kept going on the original research project. So we've been a part of it now for about a year, and some interesting results coming out. We haven't got any of the, can't pronounce the name of the disease we're looking for actually, but we haven't got any at the moment. Hasn't been found either up here in Perthshire, or I'm not aware of anything in Ayrshire either. It's all been the new, for the first time discovered was in Hampshire, and I can't remember the other place. Oh, Thetford, New Forest. So those are the two places where they found this other strain that the ticks were carrying. And then we're going to have some breakfast.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of BASC, it's time to join now. BASC, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.